We know that women's equal representation in government is in everyone's interest, as it improves policy making and increases the public's trust in democratic institutions. Yet, almost 25 years after Beijing, women only hold 24% of parliamentary seats and make up only 16% of people in news on politics and government globally. At this pace, it would take us more than a century to get to gender equality. What can we do to speed up progress? And which role are traditional and social media outlets playing in this? To find a response to these questions, I interviewed 85 women leaders in politics, journalism, television, civil society, and technology, and reviewed over 100 publications. Here is what I found. Almost everywhere, traditional media outlets are an obstacle to women's political leadership because the coverage that female politicians receive is very heavily biased against them, both in quantity and in quality. And this has a negative impact on young women's political ambitions, on female candidates' political viability, and on societal expectations on women in power, contributing to the idea that a woman in power is not a normal thing. Because of this situation, women in politics are increasingly turning to social media as a way to gain visibility and communicate directly with the electorate. Yet social media is for them, as for many women, a double-edged sword. I remember very well the threatening emails and sexist comments I received almost on a daily basis when I was a political activist in Italy, writing on the Huffington Post and on social media. I was certainly not alone. A female politician or journalist is harassed online every 30 seconds. In the majority of cases, with no accountability whatsoever for the perpetrators. And female candidates are more likely targets of vicious personal attacks carried out by fake news accounts. It is that bad. Nevertheless, the majority of the women politicians I interviewed are still online. And they told me they still find social media a very powerful tool, and one that they have learned to master to mobilize their constituency, denounce sexism, shape the political discourse, and ultimately succeed as political leaders. They are the ones who made it. How many brilliant women are, however, renouncing a career in public service because the cost on their reputation and even personal safety might simply be too high? It does not have to be that way. Policymakers, political parties, and traditional and social media outlets all have a role to play in applying solutions that promote gender equality in government. Which ones? Increasing diversity at all levels of decision-making, using technological innovations to track and eliminate bias and harassment against women in politics, promote digital literacy to ensure that citizens become conscious consumers of information, and last but not least, invest in women's political participation programs globally. We all must advocate for these solutions to be implemented immediately and at scale. Because women's equal representation in government isn't only in everyone's interest, it's everyone's responsibility. And we cannot wait another century to get the governance we deserve. Thank you.